So me and Sarah, we went 2 days ago for 5 rhythm dance and we had so much fun.
Oh,
and then one of our friends actually came around and she was saying to us, girls, I think I'm out of sync with my cycle. And we were like, what do you mean? Like, seriously, why? And she's like, well, because I'm not aligned with the moon. And we were like, it's not like that. So we wanted to make it clear for everyone, including you.
Exactly. So you can, if you look online, you will find this information that the menstrual phase should be when the new moon is. This is the most common explanation out there. And it's actually not a rule that it should be like this for every woman, because no matter where the moon is when you are menstruating, it's totally normal. But what it does, what the moon cycle, it influences how we experience our menstrual cycle because it brings different energies to it. So for example, can you tell us like how do you experience if you are menstruating with the new moon?
Yes, within a 1 before I want to mention, but within a 1 year's time, I completely changed in December from bleeding in when it's the full moon to bleeding into the new moon. And when it's in a new moon, you just feel quiet. You just want to be wrapped around. You don't want to socialize. You actually want to completely connect the pipes from everything and everyone. And and it's almost like reset. I felt like I have a reset happening more than, let's say, when I bleed on the full moon.
Yeah. And this is because also if we look at the new moon, she's not visible on the sky. She's hiding, there's this darkness, this quiet space, this alone time. It's calling us to retreat, to go inside. So this is the energy that the new moon brings if you are bleeding at this time. And then, what did you notice like when you started aligning your bleed with the full moon?
Wow. And when in a full moon, it's more like it's bright, right? So it lights the light on the darkness. So that means all the shadows, all the things that I need to clear throughout my I don't know, it's just coming like mini traumas or mini memories that I'm like, okay, maybe my ex-partner, whatever, it's all coming in as a big emotion that I need to release. Luckily, I've been working on myself for past 3-4 years and I know what to do in that moment. And I have the tools and I have the coaches, but this is the moment where actually it's asking me to look at things in order to move on, in order to evolve, in order to step up on the next level. And I'm so grateful for it. And therefore, you don't feel as locked down. You feel more like emotional, more like what's wrong with me, a little bit anxious, more than if I would be in a new moon. That's for me. What about you, Sarah?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have most of the time been aligned with the new moon. But no, not true. Actually, a couple of years ago, it was for me also this case that in a time of half year, it was slowly shifting and coming from the new moon to the full moon. And it's really interesting to observe these things because it also shows, in what kind of life period are we? What kind of things are we going through? And the body just adapts to this, So we also have to know that it changes, if we have any major life events, if we are moving, if we are traveling, if we are sick, for you it also changed, right?
COVID. I fell ill with COVID, and then within the moment I was negative from COVID, I started my bleed. And that was 14 days before my previous bleed. It was crazy. So my body was actually clearing out, and I believe I was clearing out all that gunk, that whatever that is, I had. It can change.
Definitely. And for the full moon, the full moon is in this original sense more connected with this energy of ovulation. So it's more, like the peak of feminine energy. We are, want to go out there into the world and communicate and share our time and our energy with other people. But So it might be if you are bleeding on the full moon that you feel more energized.
Yes.
Or in what you mentioned, that a lot of things are coming still up to the surface, because this is like what happens in the new cycle where you're bleeding, things are coming up, so that you can clear them and go into the next cycle more lighter and just leave behind what you have to leave. But yes, and if I heard from many women who were bleeding on the full moon, that then they got very tired, they had this low dip of energy.
Yes.
When actually in their ovulation, when we are supposed to be in the height of our energy and performance. And that is why it's so important to have the awareness of this, like where is your cycle in relation to the moon, so that you can understand, okay, there's nothing wrong with me. There is actually,
I'm not crazy.
Exactly. There's actually an explanation, which is like for everything that's happening in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, there's an explanation for everything. We just have to learn how to work with it, and also have the tools that help us to, become our own little surgeon and just like see where there's a problem and how to fix it.
Because it's important. It's life. It's like life path, right? It's never the same, but there's always a reason why we meet certain people, why we ovulate, why we it's aligned with everything. So it's a journey, and you just need to expand. And the most important thing is to be aware of it, conscious about it. So that's what me and Sarah, we learned this our way, and we want to teach so many women to do the same.
Our doors to our Back to Balance Academy are now wide open. And we are welcoming in women who suffer, who really, every month they go through this horrible pain of, suffering for days in a row, being stuck to the bed.
Yeah. And thinking that life is not fair, because and it was happening to me. I was thinking to myself, why is it happening to me? Life is not fair. Because I do all the good things, I eat all the best things, and I exercise, and I'm like, what else do I need to do? Come on.
Yeah.
And it was exhausting. So I know how each and every woman feels, and Sarah the same. So we want to help you.
So if you're a woman who experiences painful periods, maybe you have a suspicion of endometriosis, or maybe you're already confirmed with early stage, then we really want to talk with you.
We want you to book a 15-minute discovery call with us, because this will allow us to understand your situation and whether we can actually help you out. Because each and every situation is unique, like it was mine and it was Sarah's. So we really want to understand whether we can help you, and we really want to help you.
This is our personal mission, to help out women and just end the suffering, which is really not necessary. And it has become normal for women to suffer, and we want to normalize that.
And it is possible the natural way, because I simply did it to myself. Sarah's help as well. But yeah, it's all about teamwork. So thank you.
And see you on the call.